Consumer confidence is plunging, dropping to the worst since the April tariffs panic. Happy Thanksgiving. Oddly, the biggest bright spot is the young and the poor. Will the rest of us be skipping the turkey this year? The numbers come from Conference Board, and they matter because consumer spending is 70% of the economy. So if consumers are not spending, jobs and income start falling. They found confidence plunged last month, but then it gets weird. Current confidence clocked in at a robust 129, meaning people think there's plenty of jobs and earnings, but future expectations fell below typical recession level. Now, this is strange because according to the Fed, GDP right now is on fire, clocking in an impressive 4.2%, which is faster than 92% of the time over the past 25 years. Yet consumers are certain an iceberg is coming for the Titanic. So what could be driving it? Well, jobs are slowing, but that's overwhelmingly foreign workers, many of whom have gone back to Guatemala, far from the clutches of Conference Board surveys. Another factor is Trump derangement syndrome, where people who don't like Trump are convinced it is the Great Depression with better memes. This has been a problem all year with survey-based economic data. So to illustrate, when Trump took office, the widely cited Michigan inflation survey had Republicans expecting 0% inflation in the coming year, while Democrats expected nearly 5%. Even current Michigan consumer surveys have Democrats 3 times more pessimistic than Republicans. Now, it is possible that Democrats inhabit jobless hyperinflationary bubbles the rest of us cannot see, but most likely they hate Trump, and that makes them think everything sucks. Could even will a recession into being, since people who think everything sucks stop spending, which does drag down sales, jobs, and income. One data point backing this is that rise in confidence for people under 35 and the bottom 10% of income. In other words, those who most benefit from deportations and blue-collar wages, but also typically those who most dislike Trump. So they're in great shape, but they still cling to the hope Trump will F it up. And then the final ugly possibility, recession. So historically, strong GDP and weak consumers is a classic recession flag, typically in the next 6 to 12 months, but it's also a weak flag. It's wrong 3 out of 4 times. But it could be bleeding through specific industries, so federal layoffs, NGOs starved of federal handouts, AI feasting on tech jobs and starting to nibble away at low-end cubicle jobs. In other words, it's a strong economy, but specific groups are particularly anxious. So what's next? Brought to you by I Trust Capital. GDP going gangbusters while confidence plunges is an odd and potentially worrying combination. Still, with the Fed flipping to full-on money printing and trillions of investment on deck for reshoring, imports, and AI data centers, we are almost certainly not on the edge of recession. Instead, white-collar anxiety over AI and Trump derangement are giving us a lot of pessimism, even as GDP keeps coming in strong. The problem is elections are won on pessimism. They're won on feels, not reality. Congress missed their chance to slash spending and regulation, give us a bona fide boom with falling inflation. So unless the Fed and factory boom comes fast, that pessimism will cost Republicans Congress next year and could even gaslight us into recession. Okay, we'll be watching. See you next time. If you want to protect generational wealth in gold and Bitcoin, or even if you want to speculate in crypto, I Trust Capital has built one of the most secure platforms in the world that you can even use with your IRA so you don't pay any taxes until you retire. Because I Trust is dollars in and dollars out, your assets cannot be stolen by outsiders, something that actually happened to millions of crypto wallets in September. If you want to diversify your portfolio without paying gold custody and high fees, if you actually want to sleep at night without worrying about hacks and keys, check out the vault-grade security and institutional level protection of I Trust premium custody accounts. Visit itrustcapital.com/Peter and get an instant $100 funding bonus.